I was a bit confused today because we had the time changed over the weekend, so it's like, it's an hour earlier for me today. Um, yeah, but yeah, I prepared some of the stuff and we'll go through it together as usual. If you have any questions or suggestions, you can leave them in the chat. So on today's agenda, just let me share it. Every time lately when I'm opening the Zoom, it's just it's just turning on the annotations for me and straight away, and I can't even maximize my screen. But hopefully I will that will be okay. So yes, so for this office hours, we have how to design pantry using Foyr Neo. We did the wine cellar, I think 2 or 3 sessions ago, and I think you really enjoyed it. So today we can talk about pantry, and then we can try to create something nice. If you have any suggestions or what would you like to see being created, what kind of pantry, then please let me know in the chat. In the meantime, I will go to Pinterest first, and we can go through some inspirations. Then I will jump into the pantry that I've created. That's actually a closed pantry. And then we will create an open side of it as well. And maybe accommodate soft drinks fridge or something like that. But as I've mentioned, if you have any ideas or you would like to have something included within the pantry, please let me know. I've added some baskets and things like that, and fruits and veggies and jars that we can put on the shelves, and maybe create a nice space for our um pantry. So first, okay, no, not in the chats for now. So first, let me go to the Pinterest, and from here, I'll just put that somewhere here. And yeah, so we have pantries here, and I have walk-in pantries because I think that's the kind of pantry that we will be creating today. We will not be focusing on pantry that is built in the kitchen, because that's basically like a cabinet. But we will focus on more like a walk-in pantry. It doesn't have to be a big space. Not everyone can afford to have like a full room and do a pantry there. So it's usually smaller space next to a kitchen or like a behind the kitchen that we can use. But if you have a pantry or you have clients that have pantry, then you're really lucky, because pantry is really something that that is very, very useful in the kitchen, especially when you have like a big family or you enjoy cooking and you need loads of products. Then pantries are really nice spaces to have. I'm a fan of creating pantry in the same style that we have a kitchen. So there is continuity, even if there are if we have like a more minimalistic style kitchen with um just closed cabinets with not many items in a site, we still can create like a nice open pantry, using the same colors, using the same jars and the same baskets, so it looks nice and clean. And that's what I will try to create today. So for example, we have this pantry here where we have like a closed pantry on one side, and then we have some open storage. And if there's enough space to open cabinets freely, then I think the closed cabinets might be great as well, for maybe some fruits and veggies or bread, etc. Or things that don't have to be on the open shelves, like maybe sweets or things that are not looking nice, and we just want to hide them away. then like if we have a space for closed cabinets, then that's great, and we can do that. Then we have another pantry example here where we have open shelves on the top, and then we have some closed shelf like drawers or cabinets in the bottom. Also, I like this one. The light plays here a really big part. Like each shelf is nicely illuminated, so like we can see what's in there. And here we have just open shelves, use of baskets, which I really like, and then just a simple drawers for maybe smaller items that like don't have to be um out all the time. Then this one is such a lovely idea as well. And like when we talk about pantries, then like we have pantries when we like only store food, like an extra food, like if we buy more, or like we have loads of type of cereals or flour or things like that. But we also can do pantries when we actually have all our small appliances exposed, like in the pantry. So like if we don't need them in a kitchen, and like we don't want to have our kitchen looking cluttered, or like we just really enjoy just plain countertops, then we can actually make a space for small appliances in the pantry, especially if it's like easy accessible from the kitchen, if it's only just around the corner, or like behind our the main kitchen, then that's a good idea as well. Like, some people have even kettles there, coffee machines, as you can see here, like toasters, etc. So things like that can be in the pantry as well. We can use glass doors to like to connect the pantry with the kitchen, or use something like this one, so it actually, when it's closed, it looks like one of kitchen cabinets, so our pantry is hidden. But that again all depends on where our pantry is located, and of like our hours or our clients' needs and preferences. But all of that, of course, can be done. Here we have like a pantry layout, which is really nice as well. We have drawers. Drawers are really easily accessible, and like we can hide fruits and veggies there, like maybe some things that are not closed in jars, and we like don't like to have them in a site. So yes, and then we have open shelves and also some storage on the top, which is less accessible, but maybe we can like hide stuff there that we only use maybe a couple of times a year, or yeah, things like that. So yeah, so when it comes to layouts, it all again depends what kind of pantry, like what kind of space do we have. But this one is very nice, and like like it looks nice, and it will be very practical. If you can see, there's like another corner of pretty much the same space. We even have like a hidden hoover here. So yes, so we can do things like that. So now maybe I will jump into the pantry that I've created with all the closed cabinets, and then we will try to do like a half of the wall with closed cabinets, and then I will delete some, and we will create some open shelvings and add jars, wedges, etc. So let me go to pantry. Okay, so this is my pantry that I've created. I can show you the kitchen. So this is the kitchen, very minimalistic, like everything is closed. There's only like a kitchen, like a large kitchen island. And then we have the pantry. So in the pantry, like I've created like all the cabinets are closed, but now we will create some open ones. So yes, so let me go here. I will just change the height. Okay. So in this pantry, for example, we could add all the appliances. Like I have few of them here, because like there's only like a large kitchen island. I'm working as a worktop in the kitchen area. So like in spaces like that, pantry will be the place where we will be keeping all our appliances. But we will leave this side, and now I will maybe remove one part of the cabinets, and we will try to create like an open shelves and maybe add like a fridge with soft drinks, etc. Now if you have any suggestions, or like you would like to um you would like you'd like me to do something, or like place something um in the pantry, then please let me know. I will just delete some of these. So like, we won't be creating everything from scratch. Okay, we can actually leave the corner here. You can see you can modify everything when you're creating it with the create a new product tool. So that's actually really handy. Okay, so we have something like that. And now I will place um, a like an open cabinet here. And also we will do like an open shelves on this side. So let's go to the shortlist, and let's say that we'll start with something like this one. We can use either like multiple cabinets like this one, or we can create our own with the create new product tool. But let's say that we will just create, just like use the ones that we have in the catalog. So it's just to make our life a bit easier. If you will type in pantry, then there's actually loads of cabinets to choose from when it comes to like to like a ready to go pantry. Let me see if we have any other open cabinets here, because I don't really like this one. When you go to catalog and type in food, then like all like you will find all the fruits, vegetables, juices, like juice boxes, things like that. So yes, so always explore the catalog before starting to create your pantry. So we'll go with the cabinet like this one, and we'll do it on the full side here. So we can actually place loads of baskets, etc. And now we can also add one on this wall here, but this one won't be as deep. So we'll place it here. We can either have multiple shelves, or we can have like a one, like like a long ones. I think I will do like a two of the cabinets here. or 3. That should be fine. Okay, now let's double click on this one. First, what I will do, I will move the same texture on my cabinet so it actually matches the look of the kitchen. So copy texture material, and we can copy everything. Perfect. Yes. First, we can put the lights under our shelves. So I will go to the catalog and let strip light. These are the favorite ones, and we'll go with the warm white. Now we can resize them. Just make sure that you're selecting the light. Resize one, and then we can just simply copy paste it and move it. Clone tool. Perfect. Another one. And another one. I will do them on this cabinet only, so like, it doesn't take too much time. But like, of course, they can be placed on the other ones as well. So let me bring this one a bit up. And you can either resize them, resize them to the size that you want, or just put them a bit inside of your shelves. The less they stick out, then the more delicate light you will have. Like, if you will leave them fully exposed, then sometimes the light might be just too bright. That's why I always prefer to just like, put them just a bit, or like even resize them. Julie, can you select all the lights and paste in the next cabinet? Yes, of course, you can group them and then clone them, and you can paste them on the other cabinet. And that, like, that will make your life easier, and that will be way faster. The same, like, if we will, let's say, place in now the jars or whatever, and like, we want to create like a really nice aesthetically looking pantry, then we can place all the objects on one shelf and then simply group them, clone them, and put them on another shelf. So like, so or our shelves are matching. Then we can detach clone, for example, and like, maybe change the colors of the inside of the jars, or like, things like that, etc. And we can actually do it now. So if I will go to my shortlist, I added some things here. So let's say that we will like start with our jars. So we can start placing objects in our shelves. Now let me resize this one. So let's say that we will have like a taller one in the back, and then we can do lower ones in the front, and it will be like a full shelf of jars. So edit. We can even do taller. And now clone tool, and we will be placing it here. When you're placing objects on the shelves, try to go like on the angle just a bit, so you're actually know what you're doing. So like, you can see that that you're actually placing objects when they are supposed to be. And then they will like, automatically snap, of course, on your shelves. So now we have this tree, we can group them. To group objects, if you're using Apple or like, MacBook or any other, then you click Command. Otherwise, you click on Control, keep it pressed, and just add other items in the top center of your screen. We have group products, and now we can like move the full group. Another one. Perfect. And now we will go with the smaller ones. So shortlist, I will put one. You can, if you like, if you would like to be very detailed, then you can actually go to any of these jars. So if I will go to edit and texture, and you can change that rice texture. So like, for example, you can have rice, like a white rice in one, brown rice in the other one. Then you can have like some kind of pasta and beans and things, things like that. So like, you don't need to have all rice, like of course in the jars. That's just like we only like creating pantry so you can like see what can be done, or like maybe just share some new ideas or whatever. But if you want to be very detailed, you can change the textures in each of them of the jars. You will just upload texture as usual. So in the texture catalog, upload texture, and then you can upload any, of the anything you want to put into these jars. You can also rotate them before you, for example, start cloning them. So like, so they're for example, like the opening is like, front facing. So yes. Now we will group them again and clone. As you can see, when you're on the angle and you're cloning products, you can actually see this frame here. And when you will place it pretty much in the same area, then they all will be nicely aligned. So let's say that we have one shelf like this one. If you would like to do another shelf, then you can group them all and just put them on any other shelves. Marisa, is there something to know about changing textures inside of a glass jar? I have had difficulty getting objects into glass cabinets. Yes, so to change the texture inside of a glass jar, you the best way is just to click on the jar. So first of all, we will ungroup them. You will click on one of the jars and go to edit in the top center of your screen and go to textures. Now, if you will choose this texture here, then you can change that texture. So yeah, that might be, more maybe useful if you can do that. Then you can, we'll go to texture catalog. Let me check, for example, here. Hmm, I did that. I did that before. Let me think for a while. Okay, so from here, for example, you could change like the colors. So like we could have like the rice can be lighter, darker, like the jar. But yeah, just to change the texture, I think we will have to actually go inside of the jar. So like if you would have to do it, then the best way is to, yeah, just go inside of the jar. Okay, let me see if that's even doable. Um, like we can push whatever, because I think like it says if you go to textures, we can see that as a separate texture. But when we go to the jar, okay, so that's here. And now texture and like, just to push anything else. Yeah, okay. So you just have to go from the top and then change it. So like if you will go to if you will select the jar and go to edit and go to textures, then we can click on, for example, edit texture, and then like, you can highlight it, and then you can add any texture that you want from the catalog, but you will have to zoom in if you like, if to actually change that texture inside of that jar or like any glass objects. If you want to just to change colors, so like for example one like you will have 5 jars in a lighter color, then 5 jars in a darker color, then you can work with the color hues. When it comes to going inside of the glass objects, then you just have to zoom in and go on the angle so you're actually in. The same when you're placing objects in glass cabinets. That's the same rule. You just have to go inside of the glass cabinet, because otherwise you won't be able to place objects on the shelves. And they will like, they won't snap on the shelves because they will read the glass doors first. So yeah, so you just have to go inside. What you can do, you can actually take one jar, resize it. Like if it's, if it's difficult for you to go inside of the jar, try to resize it to like a really bigger size. Go change it and then resize it again, and then maybe clone them. That might be easier. Julie, Magda, can you pick a new ingredient to? Yes, yes. So just let me go and let's say that we'll take pasta image, like a raw pasta. I'm sure you can change the, let's say that we'll go with this one. Like I'm sure you can, you can change, you can edit the texture size. But let's say with this one, we'll do a screenshot. And we will just put it inside of the jar and we'll see. We'll see if it will actually work. So, okay, so let me go inside and I will just upload this texture. And we'll see how that will look. Okay, now here we go. We have this, and now we can, okay. This one is something like that. But I'd say when you will do the render, it should look okay. Like, you won't be maybe able to see these like, the tiles, separate tiles. Yeah, so I think it should be okay. If we would take like, a different image, this one is, for example, a smaller one. We can try this one, for example. Okay. Yeah, some of them they have the license. But I'm sure that we can find an image that we can actually use and just put inside. See this one, for example. Okay, this one is quite big. So we'll see with this one. It's okay, we'll try one more time. We'll go inside and upload texture. And we'll see with this one. This one should look nicer. And we'll see. But as you can see, it is doable. You just like, you just have to go inside of the jar and like, just spend a bit more time. But as I said, if like, if you really like the attention to detail and you want it to look really realistic with like, different textures and like, different products in the jar, then you can play around. Like we could have like, two or even three jars of the same pasta and then like, do another two or three of a different pasta. So yes. Okay, so let me drop this one. And this one will do one by one. Yeah, okay, yeah. So this one looks a bit better. And like you have to remember that it should clear whatever we will do the render, like all the textures will clear. And I'm sure that you won't be doing like a zoom in on the jars, so like the texture should look nice in the jars. As you can see, like I didn't um on detached the clone, so that's why the texture went to all my jars. So remember that if you want to put different textures to each jar, then you need to click on detach clone. Then you're able to put different textures to each of the containers. Now let's say that we will put, for example, I'll just see if there's no more questions. Perfect. If you have any questions, again, or like, suggestions, then please let me know. Julie, did that help?
Yes, totally. Thank you.
Perfect, no worries. So now we can, for example, get, oh yeah, so here we have like a basket with vegetables that is like, ready to go. You can also add more shelves because like, with this one, for example, that when I resized it, like we have like a quite a bit like a large gap in between, so like we can, for example, add another shelves with the create new product tool, or like just to take a normal shelf and just like, put it inside of the cabinet. Also we can try to create like a drawer. So let's say that um yeah, even in this one here, let's say that we want to add a drawer here in the bottom, then we can go with the create new product tool, create yourself, and now we will start with rectangle. Like we can do one or even two drawers. So first, like I will create something like that, so like it will not hit the other cabinet, and push and pull. Okay, now we can go from this side and just make it a bit smaller. Well, I will resize it. Click on done and resize it. And now we will create the opening in this drawer. So like, it looks really nice and realistic. So what we'll do, offset from the top and push and pull. Just leave the bottom. So we have the bottom. We could even do like, like cut out here, for example. So I will go with the arc tool, 3D arc, and something like that. Like you can center that. I just want to like, show you the example that we can, do something like this one. Now trim away this line and this line, done. And of course the same texture. So texture material. I think we can even cut that out. Can we? Trim tool. No, okay. Well, I have to be more precise the next time. But now we can go with the copy texture material, add the same texture here. And now we can, for example, put some vegetables here. And we can even clone it and add another drawer on top of this one. So let's say that I will resize this one slightly. So we'll have a space for another one. But now let's put something inside from the shortlist. I think I should have some loose, yeah. So let's say that we'll have like a lettuce here. Clone, and we can put loads of them here. Like when you have drawers and like, you will like actually open them. So like they look more, then like, when you will put items and do the render, they look really nice and realistic because you can see the items inside. So, okay, we have lettuces here. And now let's go with the clone tool. I think it will clone actually with all the lettuces. Now, if you would like to clone this one again without the lettuces, then like, we first click on the touch clone. And yeah, and even for this one, it worked that the lettuce, all the everything that we put in the drawer will disappear when you will click on the touch clone. Okay, so we have another drawer and like we can put different things into the drawer. You can like slice it out first, slide it out, sorry, and put like, let's say, some apples, some peppers, etc., and then close the drawer. Even on your renders, you can like, for example, take one drawer a bit out. So like, so it is visible what you have in the drawers when you will go like a bit on the angle if you want to show that. So like remember that like even if you will take ready to go cabinets like this one from the catalog, you can still like add some features and like customize it a bit without the need of creating like a full on, for example, cabinet like this one, because that will take you way more time. So like even adding one shelf with the creating product or like from catalog, that will save you a bit of time instead of creating a full unit. Now we can, for example, use the baskets or like things like that. Then we have, I think, set of jars where we can resize them we have like a bowls with lemons. And then we have some olive oils or oil bottles that can like, even work as a juice if we will like change colors inside. So like you can put multiple bottles like this one. Then we have a bread basket. There's loads to choose from the catalog. So you're like I can assure you that you can find loads of items there to create a really nice, realistically looking pantry. Now, if you would like to add, for example, soft drinks fridge, then we can either put it on like inside one of the cabinets that we already have here, or if you designing that from scratch, then you can of course like create a space for that. So yeah. So let's say that we'll put it maybe here. And I'll just go to modify, push and pull, and I will create a cavity here. Done. And now I have it in my shortlist. I think, yes, we have like a beverage fridge. Simply rotate it, resize it, and you have it done. So now resize. We can drop it a bit more down so it looks like it's actually built in. And then we can, for example, change the texture of it, like to black one, so it matches more with the kitchen. Yes. Julie, did you create the cabinets from scratch or use the pre-made one? No, this one I've created with the Create New Product tool for the project that I was doing before. So these ones are created, but even if you will create them, you can still save them into your library and then you can modify them. And being honest, that's what I usually do. If I will create like, like closed cabinets, or even if I have my I think there's a laundry room here as well. And I have like closed like a built-in cabinet from one side, and then I think I have some open shelves on the other side. Like you can all click on them and you can add them into your own library, and then you can simply modify them. So like you can create more open spaces, etc., instead of recreating these objects again. So that might help a bit as well. How do you do the corner angled cabinet? So just let me go back to this one first. So first I just created a shape like that. So if I will go to modify, then as you can see, like I've created a shape like that. And then I simply created like a kitchen cabinet. So when I was creating my this particular pantry, like first I've created a shape like that with the cabinet in the corner, and then simply I've created the cabinet the same way as we create cabinets for our kitchens, but just you just have to draw it first. So if I will go to this one here, let me refresh it, and I will just show you that from the scratch. So let's go to 3D. Just let me. On the floor. And now escape, create new product tool, create yourself rectangle. And let's say that we will have something like that. First, push and pull. You don't have to go all the way because we can always resize it. And now we can go with the line offset first. So again, the depth of the kitchen cabinets. And now we can go with the pen tool. You can measure everything out. So like, let's say that we can like leave, let's say that it will be 0.3 from this side and 0.3 from this side. And now pen tool, we go this way. You can use the trim tool to trim away these lines. And now push and pull, and we'll get rid of this one. And as you can see, like you will have like a separate cabinet nearly in the middle, and then you will just use the offset to create a cabinet and like and create the planes, etc. So just like first, we just have to draw a shape of our kitchen. The same if we have, for example, U shape, then again, like we will do the same. So instead of doing it this way, we can add another line offset from this side. And now just remove this part in the middle. So you will draw whichever size, like whichever shape of the kitchen you need. Okay. And before we finish, do you have any questions? Or like, still you want to see something being done within the pantry, or like, or you actually, just know a bit more how to do it, how to approach these spaces. I'll just go to catalog and I will quickly type in food, and I'll show you that like, we have, yeah, we have even like, like a food plates that you can like, place on a countertop for it to look even more realistic. We also have like a meat that can be like, we can add like a fridge inside of the pantry, like, with the see-through doors, and like, have items that have to be in the fridge in our pantry, like a chicken fillets, for example, a full chicken. Then we have different oils also, like a fruit in the jars. So yes, so as you can see, there's loads of things. So like you can create pantries, you can, for example, create like even a coffee shop, or like a sweet shops, things like that. So as you can see, there's loads of it. Then you can type in jar, or or any like box. Yeah, and you can find even more items there. With the small appliances, the same. Yeah, we can use small appliances in the pantry. Are there people in the catalog for scale? Yes. So if you will go to, I'm sure that it was in staging, yes. And then we have people and pets. And we have like scale figure, man, we have a woman as well. So yes, we have, also we have pets, or like, plain children. So for like, again, just to add that, like, just to show the scale of it, or like, just make it more, maybe looking more interactive with like, people in it then as well. Also, you can see we can even add a woman sitting by the desk. Yes. So yeah, there are people, pets. You can use them for scale. Any other questions or suggestions? How can you get a high gloss painted ceiling? For the high gloss painted ceiling, you can look for high gloss finishes in so if you will go to furniture, then you can type in, like, you can click on glossy colors. So we have glossy colors here. Or if you want any particular texture, then I would suggest to upload your own if it needs to be in particular color. For example, like, sometimes we used to be able to, like, layer textures, but like I was trying to do that lately, and it didn't work out, where you can actually, like, put a glossy texture first and then either try to change the color of it with the coloring scale, and maybe that will work. But or like put a glossy texture and then put, like, normal texture on it, and sometimes on the render it will, like, it will still look a bit more glossy. But it's being honest, like, it didn't work. So, like, you can either change a color of it on the color chart, or just try to upload glossy texture in the color that you want to use, and then on the render it will show that it is glossy. You have some, like, a glossy finishes here. And you can, like, you can use them on the ceilings as well. Like here, for example, white chalk color. So maybe you will be able to find a color that you're looking for example. Quickly, do you have any suggestions, for example, of the topics that you maybe, like, some other spaces that you would like to see being done during office hours? There's a poll also that you will get for the office hours timing. If you would be, maybe would like to change it, or maybe suggest a different time, then you can access that as well. Marisa, can you show how to change a color in the texture color area? I couldn't get a color created to apply to my model the other day. Um, yeah, just let me go on like a plane. So if you click on the plus and start, like, for example, this is the color I've created. That color, this is the color. So, like, it will be added next to, like, the colors that you used. And now you can, for example, go with the copy color. You can click on that color and then you can paste it anywhere else that you like. So it will be shown on all the colors, like, that you've changed here, like the color hues, then it will be shown here. Will that work on a model as well, like on those shirts that are hanging? Yes. Yeah, it will work on anything. Like, I've changed it for the wall, but for example, like, I will go with the I will ungroup them and just click on, let's say, I think their go as 3, don't they? So, like, I have a white short here, and let's say that I want to even do like a black one. Yes, and now I can go with the color and move it to my other ones. That works to, like, for every object that you have in your projects. No worries, you're very welcome, Marisa. Okay, so we're out of time. You can always drop your suggestions if you have any, and then we will go through them. Thank you so much for being here again this week, and we will see you all next week. Yeah, I appreciate you as well. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks so much. Take care. Have a lovely the rest of the week. Enjoy the Halloween tomorrow. And yeah, and we'll see you in November. I can't actually believe that we already going into November. But yes. Take care, guys. Bye.